Hi, it's Whitney from CoSchedule. Now that you have a few ReQueue core concepts under your belt, it's time to start building out your first ReQueue group to start driving more social media traffic to your best performing blog posts. So first, let's talk about who should take this lesson. If you're new to ReQueue, you definitely want to watch. This lesson is great though for anyone responsible for social media. So that could include bloggers, social media managers, and content marketers that are wanting to learn how to use ReQueue. So in this lesson, you'll learn why you should share your blog posts using ReQueue, how to add evergreen social messages to ReQueue, and how to update your ReQueue settings for evergreen social messages. So you spend a lot of time writing great blog posts, and most of which are going to be evergreen, which means that a lot of these blog posts stay relevant to your audience long after their published date. But the problem is, who has time to continuously write new social messages to promote your existing content? And the truth is, honestly, reaching all of your followers with a single message is truly impossible. So when it comes to promoting and resharing social messages, that is where ReQueue can be a game changer for your strategy. Here at CoSchedule, we found that resharing our blog posts multiple times actually drives up to 192% more clicks, which means that is a lot more traffic going to those blog posts that we create. So anytime you can reshare these social messages, you're creating new opportunities to drive more traffic and reach new followers. So resharing your best content is really simple with ReQueue. All you have to do is add those best evergreen pieces to ReQueue, and ReQueue will share them for you. So if you're not sure what we mean by evergreen blog posts, I'll give you kind of a quick overview. So evergreen blog posts continue to be relevant and valuable to your audience regardless of when you share them. So there's no timestamp to them. They aren't going to become outdated. Things like event promotion or seasonally relevant blog posts are not maybe a good fit. But evergreen blog posts are going to be things like a how-to blog post, maybe a blog post that promotes some premium content or a premium download that you promote, whether that be a guide or an ebook or a podcast episode. Anything related to thought leadership is great here. So maybe some interviews with your CEO or industry best practices. Or again, anything that's just really timeless and valuable. So maybe some recipes that are great any time of the year, or workouts or home buying tips. Again, anything that's going to provide value and be really timeless. So now that you have some ideas for the types of messages and content you would add to ReQueue, it's time to add those first messages into ReQueue. So to start, head over to ReQueue and you'll see two pre-made ReQueue groups. There's one titled Evergreen Content and a second titled Motivation Monday. Today we're going to focus on that Evergreen Content group. You'll also find a section called ReQueue Recommended, and this is where you'll find recommended social messages that you can add to ReQueue, and this is really the easiest way to start. So let's go ahead and start there. So to start adding messages to ReQueue, click the button to view a list of recommended messages. So if you have your social channels synced with CoSchedule, it will automatically start pulling in messages that you've published that have high rates of engagement. And this way you can easily start sifting through these recommended messages, and if they're evergreen, you can add them to a ReQueue group with just a click. So you'll go ahead and as you're looking through this list, you can click Add to ReQueue to add any of these messages so that ReQueue can reshare them again. So here are a few quick tips for using ReQueue Recommended. First, you want to add any top performing social message in this list that promotes an evergreen blog post. So again, something that's going to be timeless. Go ahead and add that to ReQueue for more opportunities to share it. Next, you'll want to dismiss any social messages that are not evergreen to remove them from this list. So that would be things that are seasonally based, maybe have a timestamp on them or promote a specific event that will no longer be relevant after it's over. So go ahead and dismiss any social messages of those kinds from this list. And then third, I want to recommend and encourage you to check ReQueue Recommended on a regular basis, so at least once a month, to discover new top performing social messages that you can add to ReQueue. So the other great part about adding messages to your Evergreen content group in ReQueue is that you can add these social messages as you create them. So if you write a new blog post and you're putting together some social messages to promote it, you can add them to ReQueue as you draft them. So when you draft any new social message, you can add them to ReQueue by simply toggling that ReQueue icon. These messages will then be added to ReQueue once the original social message is published. Once you click that icon, you can add the message to any specific ReQueue group that you've created. In this case, you'll want to add your Evergreen messages to your Evergreen content group. Next, you'll want to update your ReQueue settings for Evergreen social messages. So first, you want to define how many times you would like this message to share. So for Evergreen messages, select "This message will never expire." Because those Evergreen messages are timeless, they can continue to be shared by ReQueue without an expiration date. So ReQueue will continue to automatically reshare these messages over and over again at the best times for optimal engagement. And you can add any existing published social message on your calendar to ReQueue using this ReQueue toggle button as well. So go through your calendar and find messages that you can quickly add to ReQueue in just a few minutes. So now that you've learned how to drive more traffic to your top performing blog posts using ReQueue, you can continue to build out these groups as you draft new blog posts and look through previously posted social messages on your calendar. Remember to regularly check ReQueue Recommended to add new Evergreen messages to ReQueue too. So you've mastered that first benefit of using ReQueue, and now it's time to learn another. I'll see you in the next lesson where you'll learn how to automate repeating promotional campaigns using ReQueue.